Today we are going to be talking about angles, and angles are formed by two rays, two lines, or line segments at their intersection. And the intersection is the point where they cross, and it is also called the vertex. And because the vertex is a point, you will notice that all of these use capital letters. So if I am going to name this angle, because I have to give everything names in geometry, there are four ways to name it. The first is I use three letters with the vertex in the middle, because letters in geometry tell us what to do, so the vertex has to be in the middle. So I could name this as angle ACB. Because order doesn't matter, I can also name it as angle BCA. Again, I have to keep the vertex in the middle when I am using three letters. Because there is only one vertex at this intersection, I can also say that this is angle C. Now in this picture, there is not a number anywhere, but sometimes we will see a number added inside of the angle. So I can also name the angle by the number, in this case, angle 1. The angle is made up of two sides and a vertex. The sides are always rays. Occasionally, depending on the picture, they can be segments, but 99% of the time they are rays. So if I am asked to find the two sides of this angle, I would say that it's ray CA, because I always start at the vertex and go out, and ray CB, because I always start at the vertex and go out. And the vertex in this case would just be point C, because that is where the two rays intersect or meet. And that is how we name angles. That is how we can find the parts of angles. Now sometimes angle pictures get a little bit more complex, and I can have more than one angle at a vertex. So if I have points N, M, O, and vertex P, if I look at this, I have three angles. I have angle NPM, that angle 1, or I can name it as MPN. Notice the vertex is in the center in all of them. Please note that I cannot name it angle P because there are three angles at the vertex. I also have angle MPO that goes from there to there. If I have a number, now I am the teacher creating the problem, so I can add the number. You as the student can't just add numbers. I just am drawing the picture and adding it as I go. If the original drawing does not have a number, you cannot add one. And angle MPO, I can also reverse the order and say angle OPM. And finally, we have our largest angle, which is angle NPO, or, if I reverse the order, angle OPN. Please note that I do not call this angle 3, as I never add those numbers together to get a bigger angle. Now I just want to take a minute and talk about the angle symbol that I used, because I know mine might look a little different than what you see in books. I have a tendency to think that my angle symbols, so this means literally means angle, that they look like less than signs. And so my teacher, when I was taught geometry, had us kind of cross it so it looked like a little angle. You will see it both ways. I tend to cross my angles because my penmanship is poor and I want people to understand they are angles. However, angle written like that, NPO, or angle, NPO. They are both acceptable. Just make sure that they look like angle symbols so they're flatter on the bottom and not like other letters. Now that we know how to name angles, we need to know how to classify them using the 4 main classifications. When the directions say to classify angles, that's just identifying the type. So the first type of angle, again, which I am sure you have heard, is an acute angle. An acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. Sometimes you will see it written as an angle that is greater than 0 and less than 90. A right angle will always, I shouldn't say will always, most of the time will have that little right angle marker there. And a right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. So an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is an angle that is greater than 90 but less than 180 degrees. And you can see if it's open wider, it's obtuse. If it's smaller, it's acute. If it's a corner, then it's always right. There's a 4th type of angle called a straight angle. And a straight angle is an angle that is exactly 180 degrees. And you will notice that a straight angle is similar to a line, except in a straight angle there will be points. So it would be angle ABC. And while it looks like a line and has a lot of the same properties as a line, because it has the 3 points, that is what makes it a straight angle. So these are our angle basics.